Howdy doody everybody, my name is KevGuuey and welcome back to Highway Blossoms. If you missed the last episode, you can click on the eye on the top of the video to watch a previous episode to get caught up. We're on our way to Las Vegas. Ooh. But first I have another destination in mind. Where? So, Mare. Yeah? Ever heard of the World Carnival Buffet at the Rio? No. World Carnival Buffet? That sounds really yummy. Oh. For some reason I thought that she was gonna take her to a wedding chapel or something. I don't know why my thought went to there. But I think, oh, okay, whew, thank goodness. I don't think so. Should I? Well, if you like food, it's pretty much the greatest place on earth. Oh, I love food. They have like everything imaginable to eat, and lots of stuff that you can't imagine either. Oh, really? Somehow, her eyes got even wider. I want to try it all. I would too. Pretty sure you'll change your mind when you see some of it. But that's the spirit. Ooh. Are we going there now? Oh yeah, we are. I'm starving. Yeah, you I don't think you girls ate yet, right? Me too. And she grabs my free hand, the one that isn't on the steering wheel. Aww. My heart leaps to my throat. Since we're at a red light, I catch her eye and she smiles, though her face is a little red. I smile back, but then face forward. Aw, our hands hang limply between our seats. It isn't long before our palms are moist with sweat. I don't know whose. Well, it doesn't matter. Her hand is so soft, like she treats it with lotion or something. But I know that's not the case. Well, I guess just natural moisturizers, from her skin. Smooth. Like a baby's. Huh. It makes me a little self-conscious of my chewed fingernails and chronically dry skin. Oh. Worried that I'm gonna gross her out and she'll pull away or something. Well, if she finds that gross, I don't think she's the girl for you. Is this okay? Huh? Maybe I was getting a little too distracted. Is what? Raises our linked hands. This. Why wouldn't it be? You just seem kinda... I cannot if you... No, it's fine, seriously. I'm talking louder than I need to. Flustered as I try to backpedal. She doesn't look convinced. Okay, sorry, I'm still, not really. It's fine, you're fine, really. I'm the one who should be sorry. I'm not usually this weird in a relationship. Now she looks almost offended. Crap. Not like that, I just mean... A blaring honk from behind reminds me that I'm sitting stopped at a green light. The middle of traffic isn't the best place for this conversation. Oh, don't make it go sour already. Breathing deeply as we pull ahead, I try to collect my thoughts. Sorry, again, I just have a lot on my mind because I like you. I really do. You know that really freaking well by now. She smiles, though she's still looking down, and our hands are still together. And this is such an awkward time and place to be talking about this. So it's my bad if I'm being weird or whatever, but being with a girl I met on the side of the road is a new one, even for me, Wait, but both your hands are on the steering wheel. Finally, she laughs. Yeah, I guess it's a little weird. I feel like I can still hear a slight quiver in her voice, but I might be imagining it. So I squeeze her hand tightly. Immediately, she squeezes back. I only have a vague idea of the direction I need to be driving. Fortunately, it isn't too long until the Rio comes into view, looming large a few miles away. Ooh. We pull into the parking lot near the back, where the only open spaces are left. It's pleasantly warm outside. I've heard stories of people's shoes melting on the asphalt during the summer, but for now the weather's perfect. Ah, those are some bad shoes then if, shoes are melting on the asphalt. As we cross through the parking lot towards the casino, Marina takes my hand yet again. I can feel my heart rate accelerate, but I squeeze her fingers, all the same. Aw, ooh. The first few steps inside our sensory overload. A million different sounds and a billion different lights all pour from the sea of slot machines. Even at lunchtime on a Thursday, the majority are occupied. Those are slot machines? Those look like arcades. Or lava. Yeah, this container's holding lava. We both take a second, frozen in place, to try and process it all. This isn't even my first time in a casino, but I'm overwhelmed just like Marina is. I can see the reflections of a game in her eyes, like a cartoon character thinking of money. Whoa! Yeah, whoa! Is this one of the most popular casinos? Not even close, like it's big, but it's not the biggest. Whoa! Huh, what is the biggest? I tug her forward. Come on, we'll have tons of time to gawk with food in our stomachs. The mention of food steadies her steps. Giant overhead signs direct the way to the buffet. It must be visible from any part of the building. Well, I mean, people forget about time in casinos because they don't have a clock there. And they keep everything bright. So it feels like, it's still in the afternoon or morning time or whatever. So you're just there the whole time. We can smell it before we can see it. Even despite the stench of cigarettes and BO, they are pretty strong here. Huh. Okay, so back in this time, it seems like it's not outlawed yet. That you can't smoke indoors. It doesn't smell like any one particular food item, but rather lots and lots of them. Guided by our stomachs, we half run towards the buffet. The line to get in is small since we got here so early. Marina hops up and down trying to peek over the head of the bald guy in front of us. Can you see anything? Barely, looks like it goes on forever. Good. I practically throw my card at the attendant. It reminds me of paying to enter an amusement park, and I'm just as excited. We're led through a small gate into heaven. Ooh, what does it look like? Oh. Oh, I thought it'd be more fabulous. Rows upon rows of stations form a small maze in the massive room. Deep bins full of food, fried or grilled or baked or roasted, fill nearly every inch of space in each station. Have any of you guys been to Las Vegas? Let me know in the comments. Marina and I grab plates from the tall stacks nearby. Meet you in the dining room. She nods, already distracted, and heads straight for the desserts. Wow, she disappeared like a ghost. I load my plate with a slice of prime rib, 2 rolls, and a scoop of mashed potatoes. I pour gravy over them, letting it run down and soak into everything else. Man, if I was in this, I would not take the mashed potatoes or the rolls at all. I would just go for ribs and whatever is just delicious looking, because those rolls are gonna fill up your stomach. You don't want that. Good measure. I also throw on a pair of chicken wings from a nearby basket. So fresh that I can see the steam coming off of them. Ooh, yummy. You're gonna need a second plate. Grab one off another pile and toss a small piece of salmon, some pot stickers from the Asian section, and a large spoonful of some sort of casserole. Oh, casserole. Can't even guess what it is, but it looks good. Everything looks good. Solely because I can't fit more food on my plate, I head to the dining area and pick a seat where Marina will be able to find me easily. I hope she doesn't get lost. Sure enough, she emerges just a minute later, carrying 2 plates like I did. Wow, you weren't kidding about trying everything. Instead of big portions of a few things like I got, Marina has 1 or 2 bites of a couple dozen dishes. Roughly half of them are cakes or other sweets. Oh, she did go straight to the dessert section. When in Rome, I slice off a bit of steak and close my eyes in ecstasy while I chew. It's divine. Holy cow. Barely balancing her plates as she slides into the seat beside me, Marina bumps against my shoulder as she gets situated. I almost send a forkful of potatoes into her lap. Whoops, my bad. In retaliation, I spear a bite of chicken from her plate, swimming in some Asian sauce. No fair. It's double fair. That doesn't even make sense. After that, she finally gets to take her first bite, and she melts. Just like me, her eyes roll back into her head while she chews. I don't even remember what this is, but it's amazing. Well, that's what happens when you're super duper hungry and at a buffet. He scoops up another forkful of what looks like some kind of barbecue brisket and holds it towards me. Oh my gosh, barbecue brisket. Try it. Open my mouth and she guides the fork in. I pull back to chew. It's got a nice smoky flavor. That is good. Right? I almost want to go get a whole plate of just that. Then she tries the baked chicken that she has next to it. Wait, never mind, this is even better. There's a distinct lack of vegetables on both of her plates, but she seems to enjoy everything that she got. Every bite results in some statement about how it's the best thing so far. Oh, it sounds so yummy. Did you get any of this? I gesture towards a slice of steak that I've almost finished. Okay, open up. She dutifully opens her mouth while I cut a bite for her. It's the best part, right near the edge where all the flavor is. Oh my gosh, is that where all the fat is? Oh. It's a little awkward to be feeding her like this, but no one pays any attention to us. When she swallows, she sits still. Very slowly, she opens her eyes again. That was literally the best thing I've ever eaten. You've said that like 20 times so far. I meant it this time. That was illegally good. She meant it this time. Now that doesn't make any sense. It makes double sense. We laugh. Gramps always used to say that the best place to get a steak was at buffets like this. Oh, like this. I thought she was like saying get steak at buffets. No. Usually steaks at buffets aren't high quality. But like high places at like Las Vegas? Probably. Not because they're always better, but because you can just go up and get slice after slice. Oh, but that's if they're good though. Although he's the only person I've met who could eat more than one. I can eat more than one. How big are the steaks? Marina chuckles with me, but it's nervous sounding. I used to tease him for it. No one should be able to eat that much meat. He would always complain about him being too done. He cooked his own steaks to be kind of medium rare, closer to rare. Yeah, I mean, if it's out too long, if it's well done, then, it's, it gets hard as a rock. I like the medium well dones right there. Those are good. Gross. Don't tell me you eat yours well done. Marina, I don't know if we can still be together. She looks pained. Just kidding, you know. Yeah, no. But it doesn't sound like it. Well, I mean, if you eat a steak well done right after it comes out and you're just eating it, then yes. Oh, that's good. That's fine. I shut up. It's probably not a good idea to talk about Gramps too much either. Our plates are mostly empty, and I look back at the serving area dubiously. Round 2? She thinks about it, then shakes her head. I think I'd explode if I ate much more. Yeah, same. There's a soft flutter against my cheek, as Marina leans over and kisses it. Thank you for bringing me. Yeah, no problem. You only went up to get 1 plate or 2 plates of food? No, a buffet, you just gotta get as much food as you can. And just stuff it. Get like a stomach ache. Oh no, don't do that. Your tummy could explode or something. Yeah, you don't want that. I intently examine the hard plastic bench I'm sitting on. Too long passes by before I talk again. So are you ready to go? Oh, sure. That was the fastest meal ever. I can tell how on edge she is again. Good going, Amber. Nice. I launched to my feet. Just leave the dishes on the table. Someone will come by and clean them up. I have no idea if that's true. Start to leave, expecting Marina to follow me. Well, I mean, it is a buffet. Amber. But I turn around. She's still in the process of getting up. Wait for me. First, she has to brush her face with a napkin, and then she drains the glass of orange juice she was drinking. Then she scoots out of the booth and hurries toward me. Are you alright? Yeah, sorry, I just felt kind of nauseous for a second. Probably ate too much. Oh, I doubt she's buying it. From the corner of my eye, I see her reach toward my hand, and she seems to think better of it and lets hers fall back to her side. Grab it myself as I lead the way out of the casino. Aww. Outside, I take Marina's hand, but it feels limp inside my own. Ooh, look at that. Kyle's bar. Ah, that's the only thing I can see and read. Or Wedgie's Wieners. I let her lead the way down the street and towards the busiest part of the city. Sometimes stuff on the side catches her eye. Brightly colored sports cars that probably belong to millionaires pass by us pretty frequently. There are also people in bike-drawn carriages and double-decker tour buses. Besides the people, the buildings themselves all compete to stand out. Almost every storefront has something neon, flashing to get you to look at it. Well, if it's flashing, it's gonna get your attention. Toy stores, restaurants, sex shops, and more all vie for real estate. Ah, the sex shops. Is that what you're looking into? Huh? That's probably what they're looking into, huh? Within a 2-block radius, you could probably buy anything you ever wanted. Maybe a half-mile ahead of us, on the other side of the road, there are a few street vendors on the sidewalk. Ooh! They have awnings set up to shade themselves and their merchandise, though it's too far away to see what they're selling. Marina spots them and points. Oh, let's go look. But then our excitement vanishes. The food? I mean, if you want to. Oh. Aw, yeah, let's check it out. With a hopeful smile, Marina starts to run. A red light at the crosswalk makes her stop, not too far ahead though. Catch up just in time for the light to change. Before she can dart away, I take Marina's hand. She doesn't object, but searches my face, so I smile and she smiles back. I let her pull me to the vendor. She seems to be selling a little bit of everything. Ooh. T-shirts cover most of a wire rack that serves as a wall. There are also bins of buttons, keychains, and other small trinkets. Buttons? One bin is full of tiny soapstone animal carvings, and those are what Marina goes for. Ooh, those are small, right? I ignore the vendor and his Weasley small talk, refusing to be conned into buying tons of junk. Yeah, usually if I'm gonna buy something, I already know what I'm gonna buy. Or it's something very interesting to me, and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna take my time to think about it. After a minute, Marina selects a little stone coyote. I pay $5 for it, practically robbery. Well, if it's made of stone, it's gonna take some time to carve it, right? Or they just got it somewhere for cheap. Start down the road again with Marina inspecting her new treasure. Why a coyote? I thought she was the cutest. Look at the way the color changes here. Throws a little trinket up by my nose. There's a spot where the color changes from brown to milky white on one side of its face. Ooh. That is pretty. Plus wolves are pretty much my favorite animal and coyotes are close enough. Yeah, have you ever seen a live wolf? No, I wish. You? At Yellowstone a couple years ago. Yeah, I begged Gramps to take me. Oh, as soon as I mentioned Gramps' name, I see Marina's eyes flit towards mine. What else do they have there? All kinds of stuff. Wolves, bears, buffalo, elk, deer, pretty much any kind of forest animal. Ooh. And they just wander around, right? Yeah, there are even places where you can feed some of them out of your car. Yeah, you don't want to get with a bear though. That bear is gonna ruin your day. Or your life. One of those. What about the meat eaters, like wolves and stuff? There are spots where you can see them, but you can't feed them. They're still wild animals. It's not a zoo or anything. Yeah, it's spooky. I mean, they're attacking you. That's spooky. I want to go there someday. I'll take you to see them sometime. It's a cool place. Really? Yeah, sure. I tried to play it off like it's not a big deal to me. Talking about future plans, anything that would happen after the festival ignites that sense of uncertainty in my chest. Yeah, that's the worst feeling, the uncertainty feeling. The way her eyes light up when I promise to take her both soothes and agitates the feeling. No matter what, I'm happy that she's happy. I follow behind as she darts from stall to stall like a hummingbird. They all offer more of the same generic desert-themed trinkets or gaudy I Love Vegas merchandise. The sidewalks are full of these vendors, who shout to try to get the attention of all the dozens of people who pass by. Marina's the only one who gets hooked in. Well, I mean, she's never been here, so she's gonna go and look around for everything. But she doesn't ask for anything else. Maybe there is just as enough wolf merchandise. Every time she dives in to examine someone's wares, I hang back with my hands in my pockets and watch. Once she's done, we hold hands again. Aw man, it's a nice cycle. But all that changes once we reach the strip itself, with its electric architecture and eccentric population. Ooh, how does that change? We'll find out in the next episode of Highway Blossoms. This is very interesting, with the new settings of not looking for treasure anymore, but in Las Vegas. If you guys enjoyed this episode of Highway Blossoms, then please slime that like button and subscribe down below for more awesome videos. Thank you everybody for watching this episode, and you will hear me in the next one. Goodbye! And showing... Wait, why are you lifting your skirt up and showing us your bazongas and your forbidden nether regions?